Hello. So my name is Genesis Lugo. This is my second religion video presentations. Now this one will be on chapter 8's Confucianism. I do have a timeline here. Now, originally my first video was on Daoism, and like Daoism, Confucianism also stems from the ancient Chinese religious view of the Book of Changes. Now, the Chinese refer to this tradition as the teachings of Ru. The term Confucianism is considered a bit problematic due to the philosopher Confucius. Although he is central to the tradition, he is not the founder, and he is not worshipped like Jesus or Buddha. The name Confucius is a Latinized version of the Chinese reference to Kong Fu Zi, which is the honorable way of addressing Master Kong. Now, Confucius' teachings were recorded in the Analects, and they express his views on humanity's relationship with the world and ultimate reality. While he does embrace many traditional Chinese beliefs, he also gives new insights, especially on mortality, social harmony, and proper conduct. He expresses the importance of self-cultivation, virtue, and how education plays a role in shaping a good society. The Analects provide the pretty much the readers with a framework to understanding confusion, values, and their impact on personal and societal well-beings. Now, in Confucianism, Tian is seen as a moral and ethical force that guides virtuous individuals instead of a distant divine power focused on rulers. Confucius interprets Tianming, which means a mandate of heaven, as a moral action by individuals, especially the morally elite, who are called to restore order and righteousness in society. Unlike other prophetic figures in other traditions, Confucius believed that Tian communicates his will through nature and events that occur. Those who understand it must take the responsibility to uphold the moral values and societal harmony. Now, in Confucianism, Tian conveys the Tao, which stands for the proper moral and societal order. Confucius teaches that when leaders fail, of virtuous it's the job of virtuous individuals to restore it. Now, the pursuit of the Tao is the ultimate goal, and Ren, the humanness, and Li, which stands for the ritual property, are two very important aspects for the Tao of Tao. Now, in Confucianism, Ren is the core moral quality in all people, is developed through family, respect, and society, and through social and just helping out socially. Confucius teaches that by cultivating Ren, it allows individuals to fulfill Tian's mandate and create harmony with all people capable of perfecting it through self-effort. So, unlike many other religions where it's certain people or they must, have be chosen by God, with Confucianism, it's the complete opposite. Anyone is able to perfect themselves through self-effort. Now, in Confucianism, Ren alone is not enough to revive the Tao. It's supposed to also be expressed through Li, which is rituals and proper behavior. It governs interactions with family, society, ancestors, and the spiritual world. Li involves learned rituals that when performed with sincerity, they help perform, they help foster harmony and goodwill. Confucius teaches that Li is essential to realizing one's potential. Ren is the inner force of the Li, where Li is the external expression of the Ren. In Confucianism, the Junzi up is a morally upright individual who revives the Tao through self-cultivation and also influences others with virtue, which is known as Day. The Junzi is exemplified by the sage, who was known as a perfect person who embodies moral excellence and serves as a messenger of Tian. Now, the second most important figure in Confucian tradition is Mencius, Master Meng. He believed in the inherent goodness of human nature and the potential for everyone to become a sage. He identified four moral qualities, which are compassion, shame, def deference, and the sense of right and wrong, which all lead to benevolence, righteousness, prosperity, and wisdom. Through moral cultivation, one can achieve greatness and spiritual divinity. Mencius emphasized righteousness along with benevolence and was willing to sacrifice his life for moral integrity. Now, the great learning and the doctrine of the mean focus on self-cultivation and societal harmony. The great learning outlines steps for personal and societal improvement. The doctrine of the mean teaches that humans are born with nature from Tian, and with moral effort they can achieve harmony with Tian and the earth. Now, during the Shang dynasty, Shang Di was the supreme authority. While the Zhao defeated the Shang, when the Zhao defeated the Shang, the Zhao replaced Shang Di with Tian, claiming it was a mandate from Tian, formerly known as Shang Di, due to their virtue. So, kind of like I explained in my Daoism video, I went a lot deeper into that. Um, but when the Zhao did defeat the Shang, um, Shang Di decided, the story that was told was that Shandy decided that he was going to change his name to Tian, and he was no longer going to just, bless whoever. No, he wanted them to be righteous. He was only going to bless those who morally were righteous, which was really good. I enjoyed learning about that. Now, by Confucius' time, the Zhao political and moral ordeal had collapsed, with many other feudal lords competing for power. During this time of chaos, Shi, which were the servicemen, began emerging along with Wuxi, military, and Rushi, scholars and ritualists. Confucius was a Ru, a scholar skilled in history, poetry, rites, divination, and served feudal lords. Now, Confucius was born into a former aristocratic family and faced early hardships. Through those hardships, he developed a passion for learning, especially when it came to history, rituals, poetry. By 30, he was a respected scholar. His main contribution to Confucianism was as a teacher, emphasizing self-cultivation, moral duty, and societal harmony. Disappointed by the lack of support for his political ideas, Confucius spent 13 years traveling, seeking a ruler who would adopt his vision. Returning to Lu, he focused on teaching and editing text until his death. His life, as described in the Analects, reflects his dedication to learning, understanding Tian, and his teachings the path to personal and society and social harmony. And teaching the path to personal and social harmony. Now, after Confucius's death, the warring the Warring States period led to a big decline in Confucian influence. Mencius defended and helped expand Confucian ideas, becoming an important figure to the tradition. Meanwhile, there was Zunzi, who took more of a secular approach. He argued that human nature is evil but can be transformed through moral effort. His ideas were eventually rejected by mainstream Confucianism. Now, after China was unified by the Qin dynasty in 22-1 BC, Confucianism was persecuted for its ideas. However, when the Han Dynasty took power, Confucianism became the state orthodoxy due to its utility in governance and social cohesion. Over time, Confucianism shifted from focusing on personal cultivation to becoming a tool for the bureaucracy and state control. Confucius was seen as an important and great figure with grand titles and memorials built in his honor, but once again remaining as an exemplary figure rather than a deity. So once again, Confucius was never worshipped like Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad or any other prophets from other religions. He was just always seen as someone that they look up to, that they honor, someone of high rank, but not a deity or a god. Now, Confucianism was China's dominant philosophy for almost 2,000 years, coexisting with Taoism and Buddhism. In the 12th century, Neo-Confucianism revived it by incorporating ideas from Daoism and Buddhism. Under Zhu Ci, the four books became central to civil service exams, with Neo-Confucians focusing on moral cultivation and societal transformation. Now, Confucianism faced a great decline after the Opium War, which many intellectuals blaming it for China's struggles. So during that time, Confucianism was blamed for the struggles that China was enduring. Now, the new cultural movement and the Cultural Revolution fought to eliminate it. However, Confucianism served influencing much of today's modern Chinese society, including family values, education, and economic development. In recent years, the Chinese government has promoted Confucianism to boost national pride, and the new Confucians still advocate for its relevance in today's world, with Confucius Institutes expanding globally. Now, Confucianism ended spreading beyond China, starting in the Great Common Era, impacting neighboring countries greatly. Zhu Ci's influence made Confucianism the dominant philosophy in state orthodoxy in Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. Chinese immigration further spread Confucian ideas across Southeast Asia, shaping social, bureaucratic, and religious structures in these regions. Now, Confucianism stresses the importance of rituals as a key of expression of humanity, teaching behavior, and facilitating communication with spiritual powers. Rituals include sacrificial presentations at the state, community, and family levels, and are central to Confucian religious practice, especially sacrifices to Tian, and Confucius, once his teachings once his teachings became orthodox. In Confucianism, the son of Tian was responsible for carrying out Tian's mandate, which included animal sacrifices to Tian and Di. Those rituals held on the summer and winter solstices included purification, music, prayers, and sacrifices. Now, after the Han Dynasty established Confucianism as a state orthodoxy, temples dedicated to Confucius were built across China. Rituals involving music, lectures, and sacrifices were held to celebrate his birthday. The most significant Confucian temple in Khufu was built as a symbol of Confucius' honor. This temple became a pilgrimage site for many scholars, highlighting the Confucianism's emphasis on respect, ritual, and education. Now, ancestral worship is very important in Confucianism. The practice helps strengthen the real connection between generations and fosters a sense of continuity. Now, Confucianism maintains a non-sectarian approach, often blending in with Taoism, Buddhism, and even other religions like Christianity and Judaism. There is no formal initiation method or membership register, making it difficult to quantify its followers. Despite this, Confucianism remains influential, appealing to those who are seeking meaning and purpose. Confucianism is rooted in the belief of interconnectedness between humans and nature, teaching that those who are elite have moral responsibility to improve society and maintain harmony with the environment. Confucianism sees the environment as integral to human well-being. Confucianism has been criticized for its patriarchal, patri, patriarchal, sorry, for its patriarchal views, I'll say misogynistic views. But its core teachings do not deny women's equality and moral and intellectual potential. It focuses on self-cultivation and improvement for all, regardless of one's gender. While historically associated with gender oppression, Confucian ethics share similarities with feminist care ethics. Confucianism influence is seen in practices like feng shui and Chinese martial arts. Both practices, though rooted in Taoism thought, resonate with Confucian ideas of harmony and personal cultivation. Confucianism is not just an ethical teaching, but a religious tradition rooted in deep faith in Tian, the ultimate absolute. It emphasizes humans' effort to transform both the individual and the world. Over 2,000 years, Confucianism has influenced Chinese rituals, from state ceremonies to familial practices. Despite critique in the 20th century, Confucian values continue to shape Chinese ethics, social behavior, and politics, with an enduring impact on global society. Confucianism views the pursuit of human potential as a divine calling, blending the secular with the sacred, and the teaching the importance of human co coexisting with the divine. Now, what is the ultimate reality? So for Confucians, the natural world is not a fallen state. There is no almighty creator, nor is there any demonic counterpart. There is no definite beginning to the world, and there is no precedented end. Instead, the world unfolds and operates like a pendulum, arching between extremes and alternating between two polar but complementing opposites. Humans aren't caught in a tug of war between good and evil, and the side they choose does not result in a permanent fate in paradise or hell. Now, emphasis is placed on the balance, coexistence, and harmony. How should we live in this world? So, in Confucianism, there is no notion of sin, but there is a gap between how humans are and how they should be. The right way to live is ethically in accordance with the moral dictates of Tian. Moral behavior, starting from the individual and extending outward, transforms the family, community, and the world. The core moral guide in Confucianism is do not do unto others what you do not want done to you. Now, what is our ultimate purpose? Confucians believe that humans are inherently inclined towards the good and possess the potential for perfection, but this potential must be nurtured through learning, moral introspection, and ethical behavior. The goal is to live in accordance with the way of Tian and ultimately become co-equal with the divine. Confucius himself was indifferent to the topic of death, focusing more on improving life. So I do have some key terms here, which is Junzi, which stands for the noble man, men of virtue, Ren, which signifies the benevolence, humanness, and virtue. Li, which refers to the set of behavioral practices, also known as rituals. Ru is the word that is used to describe scholars, and Dao stands for the way or the path of. Now, I truly did enjoy reading about Confucianism only because my first video was on Daoism, and so it was very interesting to read. I also do like that saying of don't do unto others what you don't want done to yourself. I think that's something that I think a lot of us need to think about, especially now. But it was interesting. I really enjoyed it. Um, and yeah, so thank you so much for watching my video.